2 years had passed since Joseph interpreted the dreams of the cupbearer and the baker. Then Pharaoh had a dream. He was standing beside the Nile River, and up out of the river came 7 attractive and fat cows, and they fed in the meadow. And after them, 7 ugly and thin cows came up out of the Nile and stood by the other cows on the edge of the river. Then the ugly and thin cows ate the 7 attractive and fat cows. At this point, Pharaoh woke up, and when he went back to sleep, he had a second dream. 7 full and ripe ears of grain grew out of a single stalk. After them, 7 ears, thin and blasted by the east wind, sprang up, and the thin ears swallowed up the 7 full, ripe ears. Then Pharaoh woke up and realized it had been a dream. In the morning, Pharaoh was so troubled that he called all the magicians and wise men of Egypt and told them his dreams, but no one could interpret them for Pharaoh. Then the chief cupbearer said to Pharaoh,
"Today I am reminded of my faults. When Pharaoh was angry with his servants and put the chief baker and me in the prison, both he and I had dreams. And there was a young man with us, a Hebrew, a servant of the captain of the guard. And we told him our dreams, and he interpreted them for us. And it came about just as he had interpreted. I was restored to my office, and the baker was hanged."
Then Pharaoh summoned Joseph, and they quickly brought him out of the dungeon. When Joseph had shaved and changed his clothes, he came in to see Pharaoh, and Pharaoh said to him,
"I had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it. But I have heard that when you hear a dream, you can interpret it."
It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer that will set his mind at peace.
So Pharaoh revealed his dream to Joseph.
In my dream, I stood at the edge of the river, and 7 cows came up out of the river and fed in the meadows. And after them, 7 ugly and thin cows, such as I have never seen before in all the land of Egypt. Then the ugly and thin cows ate the first 7 cows, but no one would have known they had eaten them because they were still as thin as before. Then I woke up, but I dreamt again and saw 7 full ripe ears of grain growing out of a single stalk. After them, 7 ears, thin and blasted by the east wind, sprang up, and the thin ears swallowed up the ripe ears. I told this to the magicians, but none of them could explain it to me.